it pushes us to have a powerful opening of the second speeches. Before going into the second speech sessions, we have a surprise for you. To mark the centennial of President Kim Dae-jung's birth, there was the idea competition for the JeollaNamdo Future Peace Vision for the last 1 month. So a lot of ideas and business, the policy and business ideas were submitted to share a peace message based on Kim Dae-jung's spirit. And out of all those presenting ideas, 2 ideas were selected. The winning ideas were selected as they were relevant to culture and history of JeollaNamdo and Kim Dae-jung and for a sustainable future of JeollaNamdo. For the awarding ceremony, I would like to invite Executive Director Kim Sung-jae of Kim Dae-jung Peace Center. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Chairperson, the Executive Director Kim Sung-jae to the stage. 2 ideas were selected. Let me introduce those ideas. The first idea has a title of Conscience in Action, Democracy Heritage Tour in Jeonnam. And second idea is titled For Healthy Jeonnam with Increased Population Enjoying Daily Sport Ideas. So I look forward to the implementation of those great ideas into in our daily lives. Let me introduce our winners. As I call upon your names, please come forward to the stage. We have Lee Jae-won, Yoo Jung-hyuk, and Kim Dong-hyun. Ladies and gentlemen, please big hands for them. Now let us award the prize for them.
김대중 평화센터 이사장상 수상자
이재원, recipient 이지원. The idea title is Conscious in Action, Democracy Heritage Tour in Jeonnam. The person above is to receive this citation for excellence of the ideas and the JeollaNamdo Future Peace Vision Idea Competition hosted by Centennial of Kim Dae-jung's Birth Peace Festival, awarded by Governor Kim Young-rok of JeollaNamdo Province and President Kim Hong-up of Kim Dae-jung Peace Center.
수상자에게는 상장과 함께
Along with the citations and the gift will be presented to the winner.
축하드립니다.
Congratulations. Recipients Yoo Jung-hyuk and Kim Dong-hyun. The title of idea is For Healthy Jeonnam with Increased Population Enjoying Daily Sport Activities. The content is the same. For the 2 recipients, citations and the gift are to be presented.
표정이 조금 어두우신 것 같습니다. 활짝 웃어주세요.
Big smile, please.
축하드립니다. 네, 이번에는 3분 수상자 함께
And all together we will take a photo.
멋진 아이디어를 내주신 3분께 다시 한번 축하의
Another
박수
big round of
보내주시죠.
applause. We have 2 parts in this session.
김대중 대통령의 정신을 바라보는 세계인들의
The
생각을
how Kim Dae-jung's spirit is received by the world will be the topics of the presentations. First,
역사적 유대 김대중과 동티모르입니다.
The first presentation will be delivered under the title Historical Bond Between Kim Dae-jung and East Timor, or Timor-Leste. We invite the speaker, His Excellency Antonio Benavides from the Embassy of East Timor to Korea. The session will be moderated by Dr. Baek Hak-sun.
When I watched the award giving ceremony just before, I thought of the time of celebration bicentennial of this of the birth of President Kim Dae-jung. Truly, this is this sessions in the afternoon is another occasion for celebrating the bicentennial of the birth of President Kim Dae-jung. This afternoon we'll be having 2 very special sessions featuring 2 ambassadors to Korea. Ambassador Antonio Benavides and of the Democratic Republic of Timor-Leste, formerly East Timor, to the Republic of Korea, and also Ambassador Georg Schmidt, German ambassador to Korea. Welcome, Ambassador again, and please join me in welcoming His Excellency Antonio Benavides, Ambassador of the Democratic Republic of Timor-Leste to Republic of Korea. Ambassador Benavides a brief introduction of his career. He was the ambassador designate of Embassy of Democratic Republic of Timor-Leste to South Korea this time. And he was formerly technical advisor for Ministry of Petroleum and Natural Resources, Timor-Leste. And he was also member of National Parliament of Timor-Leste. And he was the head of party's bench and member of Finance Commission. As many of you remember, President Kim Dae-jung worked very hard and trying to make contribution to the birth of the Democratic Republic of East Timor, Timor-Leste, and the historic bond between the two presidents, actually then president and the leaders over there, the first president and the second president, who is a sitting president now, and Kim Dae-jung himself, and also the relationship strengthened thanks to the all kinds of cooperation at various levels, at the top, leadership level, and also the people level. And we, Korea also sent 상록수 부대 as part of peacekeeping forces when Timor-Leste was born. And so we tried in various ways to help the new nation to prosper, to survive and prosper. So it's a very significant title, a historic bond between Kim Dae-jung and East Timor-Leste. So that's the title Ambassador chose himself. So you can sit here and speak, or you can take the podium, please. Okay. Again, you can, as you please. Maybe you can speak 30, 40 minutes, and after that we will have a question and answer period, and we'll wrap it up after. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Moderator, for your nice introduction. I'm staying here. I'm not going to talk about myself. I'm talk about the person that's a very, very significant, very unique to us, to Timorese. And I'm going to talk about Kim Dae-jung. Kim Dae-jung and the relationship with myself as ambassador, not for today, but for the experience that I have, I hear, I saw a lot about Kim Dae-jung and through my leaders in Timor-Leste. However, before I proceed to my presentation, I'd like to ask two questions. One question about the feeling, and the second about your knowledge. The first question is, who can feel the presence of Kim Dae-jung, the presence of Kim Dae-jung here, right now? Who can feel it? Please share with us. First question. Please raise your hand. Yes, sir. Please.
어제부터
Yes, actually, since yesterday we have been talking a lot about President Kim Dae-jung's legacy. We have been seeing videos about his activities, and I strongly believe that he is with us in presence, in spirit, as we proceed with the program.
We feel the presence of Kim Dae-jung here. And sir, for your sharing, I have a book here that written by my Prime Minister, Mr. Sanana Guzmão. He is also a good friend of Kim Dae-jung. So I'd like to give to you this book for you to remember us. The second question, don't use your GPT, just your knowledge. I know that Mr. Moderator already mentioned a little bit about our relation with Kim Dae-jung. So please, some of you might want to share, what do you know about Kim Dae-jung, the relationship between Kim Dae-jung and Timor-Leste? Please raise your hand, who can share with us? Thank you.
Thank you for giving me a good motivation to think about the president of Kim Dae-jung. I personally wonder, what do you have the memory of the moment with Kim Dae-jung? I just wonder about your personal experience with him. Thank you.
This I'm going to present in my presentation, but some of you might want to share one or two keywords, the relationship that we have with Timor-Leste, please.
네, 인도네시아의 외교 관계에서의 역할을 했다고 알고 있습니다.
President Kim Dae-jung played an important role in the diplomatic relations between East Timor and Timor-Leste and Indonesia when they were fighting for independence.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. And here is a present for you. Please come forward. Right, please join me in my presentation. I have this in my slide, but I also have here my narrative. Then I'm going through this one, and I hope this will be around 25 to 30 minutes. Please don't get sleep and enjoy. Honored guests, esteemed college, and distinguished participants. Good afternoon, anong sayo, anong asayo, boa tarde from Timor-Leste. As you can see in my outline, in my slide, I will highlight several key aspects of Timor-Leste philosophy and journey toward peace, human rights, and reconciliation. I will discuss how these foundational values have shaped the nation's approach to building a peaceful and resilient society, even after years of conflict. This journey has not only strengthened Timor-Leste internally, but has also allowed it to contribute on a global scale, particularly through initiatives like DZ7+, a group initially led by Timor-Leste to support peace and resilience among fragile states. I will continue with a look at the unique partnership between Kim Dae-jung and José Ramos Horta, whose shared commitment to peace and democracy fostered diplomacy in Timor-Leste. Their collaboration exemplifies how international solidarity can positively impact local context. Kim Dae-jung's unwavering support for Timor-Leste during its crucial times of need reflected a vision of global peace that resonated deeply with the country's values. I will discuss how Kim Dae-jung's legacy, marked by diplomacy and compassion, has left a lasting influence on Timor-Leste. In my last presentation, I will explore the enduring impact of Kim Dae-jung's support and partnership, emphasizing Timor-Leste gratitude and commitment to uphold the lessons of peace, resilience, and global solidarity learned from this historic relationship. Through this theme, I hope to illustrate how partnership rooted in shared values can shape a legacy that benefits not only individual nations, but the global community at large. With honor and sincere gratitude, I stand before you today to pay the respect of the legacy of President Kim Dae-jung. His unwavering dedication to peace and reconciliation has served as a source of inspiration, not only for Korean Peninsula, but for the entire global community. As we mark the centennial of his birth, we come together in unity to celebrate his life remarkable contribution, which continue to illuminate our shared effort toward peace, mutual understanding, and a harmonious relationship with nature. In my slide, I will begin by discussing Timor-Leste's long and challenging fight for peace, human rights, and democracy on the path toward independence. The journey was marked by immense resilience, as Timor-Leste endured centuries of colonization, starting in 1515, when it fell under Portuguese rule for over 450 years. In 1975, the struggle for self-determination faced another major obstacle with the Indonesian occupation, which lasted 24 years. Throughout these years, the people of Timor-Leste bravely resisted, uniting in both peaceful and armed movement to assert their right to sovereignty and freedom. This perseverance was rooted in the deeply held belief in their nation's right to self-determination, and despite the odds, Timor-Leste remained steadfast in its goal. Finally, in 2002, Timor-Leste effort came to fruition as it became the world news nation. This hard-won independence stands as a testament to the courage and determination of the Timorese people, whose journey toward peace and democracy has become an inspiring chapter in modern society. This segment of my presentation will set the stage for understanding how these values continue to shape Timor-Leste's contribution to global peace and resilience today. This part of my presentation, I will highlight the remarkable reconciliation process between Timor-Leste and Indonesia, underscoring how this relationship evolved from a history of conflict to one centered on peace and understanding. Timor-Leste places a strong emphasis on forgiveness over retribution, choosing to prioritize reconciliation rather than stay on the wounds of the past. Rather than relying solely on prosecution, the nation embraced alternative form of justice that sought to heal rather than punish, recognizing that true peace requires building trust and cooperation rather than harboring division. This focus on reconciliation became fundamental to Timor-Leste's approach to peace and state building, allowing the nation to construct a stable foundation while setting an example of peaceful coexistence in the region. By sharing this experience, Timor-Leste demonstrates how a path of forgiveness and pragmatic approaches to justice can provide a viable route to long-term and stability. I would like to share with you as well the role of G7+ in promoting peace and resilience. As part of the successful peace and reconciliation with Indonesia, Timor-Leste defined and formed G7+. It was formed in response to a gap identified by fragile and conflict-affected states about the ways in which they could achieve Millennium Development Goals established by the UN, which aim to eradicate extreme poverty and hunger. The MDG focused on priorities which were not aligned with the real situation of many countries affected by conflict. Yet these countries were nevertheless measured against the standard set by MDGs and thus were so often shown to be failing. There was no strong representation from countries in a fragile situation during the negotiation of MDG framework to ensure the priorities were not using a one-size-fits-all approach. The Prime Minister of Timor-Leste, His Excellency Kairala Sanana Guzmão, used to say that we cannot achieve global development goals unless we first achieve peace in fragile countries. Prime Minister Sanana Guzmão's vision and Timor-Leste's central role in advocating for peace as a prerequisite to development. The third high-level forum on aid effectiveness in Accra, Ghana in 2008 concluded with issuing the Accra Agenda for Action, which called for the establishment of an international dialogue on peace building and state building and asked for fragile countries to voluntarily monitor and monitor the implementation of the principles for good international engagement in fragile state and situation. 7 countries, Afghanistan, Central African Republic, Cote d'Ivoire, Democratic Republic of Congo, Haiti, Sierra Leone, and Timor-Leste, volunteered to do the monitoring. Subsequently, these 7 countries became the founding members of the G7+, which was established in 2010 in Dili, Timor-Leste. Since then, the G7+ has become a platform to negotiate the principle of peace and reconciliation. The mission of G7+ is to support its member state in transitioning to resilience by engaging with actors at both the national and international level, in keeping with the motto, nothing about us without us, which stresses country-owned and country-led process of peace building and state building. Over the years, the G7+ has pursued this mission through 1. Facilitate peer learning and sharing of experience among conflict-affected countries in the areas of peace building, state building, and development. 2. Advocate for effective and country-owned and country-led cooperation in the areas of peace and state building, humanitarian, and development engagement that support achieving a resilient state institution capable of serving the citizens. 3. Promote homegrown peace through national dialogue and reconciliation founded on the principle of country ownership. Since then, the G7+ has been one of the global advocates that contributed to debate and adoption of SDG 16 on peace, justice, and effective institution as part of the Global Agenda 2030. The membership of the G7+ is currently comprised of 20 member states: Afghanistan, Burundi, Central Africa Republic, Chad, Comoros, Cote d'Ivoire, Democratic Republic of Congo, Guinea, Guinea-Bissau, Haiti, Liberia, Papua New Guinea, São Tomé and Príncipe, Sierra Leone, Somalia, Solomon Islands, South Sudan, Timor-Leste, Togo, and Yemen. Considering the importance of role the G7+ has played at the global level, the 74th session of the UNGA adopted a resolution 74/196 on the 18 December 2019, granting the G7+ an observer status at the UN. The observer status consolidates G7+ as an intergovernmental organization that has the potential to contribute to the overarching goals of the UN. The G7+ can now pursue its advocacy with much greater impact. The G7+ flagship program, Fragile to Fragile Cooperation, that encourages experience sharing between fragile countries, has also been recognized by the G7 in its declaration, Tackling Fragilities and Preventing Crises in Developing Countries, in Beatrice, France, in July 2019. The G7+ also supports the government of Timor-Leste initiative to promote reconciliation to young people who involve in the martial arts groups across the country, in addition to collaboration with community policing to share the importance of dialogue and reconciliation through sharing of lessons learned from G7+ member countries. Timor-Leste philosophy and journey toward peace, human rights, and reconciliation. The Timorese philosophy of peace is deeply rooted in the values of resilience, reconciliation, and unity that have been cultivated through centuries of struggle and colonial rule. For Timor-Leste, peace is not just the absence of conflict, but a continuous process of healing, forgiveness, and building a society where all are included. The traditional Timorese worldview emphasizes harmony with nature and among communities, an identical ethic that has guided their modern peace-building effort. The story of reconciliation between Timor-Leste and Indonesia is remarkable both for the process and its success. After gaining independence in 2002, the leadership of Timor-Leste prioritized forgiveness to forge a new relationship with its closest neighbor and to heal the battle scars within its own divided community. The process was supported by the Indonesian government, which was focused on democratizing politics and reforming its security institution. While there was international pressure to prosecute individual perpetrators of violence, the leader of Timor-Leste and Indonesia choose a model of reconciliation anchored in both peace building and state building. President Kim Dae-jung was one of the greatest heroes for democracy in Korea and in Asia. His election as president in 1997 signaled a great advance for democracy in Asia and as a whole. President JeollaNamdo, who is serving a second term of president of Timor-Leste 2007 to 2012 and 2022 to 2027, and recipient of the 1996 Nobel Peace Prize, was a key nominator of President Kim Dae-jung for the Nobel Peace Prize. President Ramon was assisted by Professor Han Jung Kim in writing the nomination of President Kim Dae-jung for the Nobel Peace Prize. The two worked together in a hotel room in Seoul to prepare the nomination. President Ramon was honored to attend the gala ceremony of the Nobel Award in Oslo on 10 December 2000. President Kim Dae-jung played a positive critical role in 1999 during the security crisis in Timor-Leste. Working side by side with President Bill Clinton and UN Secretary General Kofi Annan, they secured an unanimous United Nations Security Council resolution mandating an international force for Timor-Leste. President Kim Dae-jung's legacy for Korean people, including for the people of North Korea, is peace in the Korean people and continued dialogue with the North to preserve peace. Peace can be preserved only through patient, sustained dialogue, even when there are tension and setbacks. Honored guests, esteemed colleagues, and distinguished participants. In this section of my presentation, I will explore the multi-phased support that Kim Dae-jung extended to Timor-Leste during its critical years of struggle and state building. First, his diplomatic efforts played a crucial role in mobilizing international attention and support for Timor-Leste independence. By advocating at a high level, including the United Nations, Kim Dae-jung helped to secure vital backing that elevated Timor-Leste cause on the world stage, reinforcing international commitment to its stability and autonomy. In addition, his administration offered essential financial assistance to help stabilize and rebuild Timor-Leste in the early stages of its independence. This support was more than just economic. It also represented a gesture of solidarity, helping Timor-Leste address immediate needs and invest in its future. Kim Dae-jung's moral support and recognition of Timor-Leste's struggle provided much needed encouragement to the Timorese people and their leadership. His words and action affirmed the value of their journey towards self-determination and showed that South Korea stood with them in their pursuit of peace and independence. Together, this form of support underscores Kim Dae-jung's commitment to global solidarity and his belief in the universal right to self-determination and democracy. The impact of Kim Dae-jung diplomacy. In this part of my presentation, I will delve into how Kim Dae-jung's diplomatic strategy significantly influenced Timor-Leste's path to peace and independence. First, his efforts in raising global awareness were pivotal. Kim Dae-jung's advocacy highlighted the Timorese struggle on international platforms, including the United Nations, encouraging other nations to recognize Timor-Leste's right to self-determination and commit to its support. By drawing attention to the Timorese cause, he helped build global solidarity, amplifying calls for independence and justice. Next, Kim Dae-jung played a role in brokering negotiations, which was instrumental in establishing international cooperation for peace in Timor-Leste. He coordinated with global leaders, including those from the United States and the United Nations, facilitating agreements that ultimately led to deployment of peacekeeping forces. His collaborative approach helped create an environment where constructive dialogue could flourish, ensuring that global powers work together to stabilize Timor-Leste during a sensitive transition period. Kim Dae-jung's diplomacy fostered cooperation between nations that might otherwise have had limited engagement with Timor-Leste. Through his efforts, South Korea extended both political and humanitarian support to Timor-Leste. setting an example for other nations to follow. His approach reinforced the idea of global cooperation in the pursuit of peace, showing that a collective effort was essential in helping Timor-Leste overcome the challenge of independence and build a foundation for long-term stability. Timor-Leste gratitude towards Kim Dae-jung. In this part of my presentation, I will discuss Timor-Leste deep gratitude toward Kim Dae-jung, who remains a highly revered leader for his unwavering support during Timor-Leste path to independence. Timor-Leste continues to honor Kim Dae-jung's memory, recognizing him as a true champion of democracy and human rights, who advocates for peace not only in his own regions, but also for nations like Timor-Leste. His efforts have led a lasting impact on the people, who view him as instrumental in securing their independence. The connection between Kim Dae-jung and Timor-Leste was one of lasting friendship, marked by mutual respect and shared values. Timor-Leste remembered his moral support, financial aid, and diplomatic effort, all of which were invaluable during times of crisis. The personal bond he established with Timorese leader, particularly with President JeollaNamdo, is celebrated as a meaningful partnership that went beyond formal political alliance. This friendship became a symbol of hope and resilience, inspiring both leaders and citizens in Timor-Leste. Kim Dae-jung's enduring legacy lives on as a Timor-Leste strive to uphold the principles he championed. His influence remains visible in the country's commitment to peace, democracy, and human rights. Timor-Leste views him not only as a key figure in their struggle for sovereignty, but also as a guiding inspiration in their own journey toward maintaining these ideals. This profound gratitude and respect make Kim Dae-jung's legacy a foundational part of Timor-Leste national identity and their ongoing dedication to his vision of peace and cooperation. The legacy of Kim Dae-jung and Timor-Leste relationship. In this slide, I will cover the legacy of the relationship between Kim Dae-jung and Timor-Leste, which has left a profound impact on both countries on the global community. This partnership has served as a beacon of inspiration, encouraging countless others to support the cause of freedom and self-determination. The remarkable bond between Kim Dae-jung and Timor-Leste exemplifies how visionary leadership and shared values can make a difference in the lives of nations striving for independence and peace. This legacy has also shown the strength of international solidarity in promoting democratic values and human rights, a principle that both Kim Dae-jung and Timor-Leste leaders championed tirelessly. Their cooperation has set a powerful example of how unity and mutual support among nations can lead to a strengthened democratic institution, thereby creating more just and resilient societies. Furthermore, this relationship has built enduring bridges between South Korea and Timor-Leste, extending beyond political solidarity to foster cultural and economic exchanges. Today, this connection contributes to a vibrant relationship that reinforces mutual respect and collaboration, ensuring that the legacy of Kim Dae-jung's support for Timor-Leste continues to thrive. Through the lasting ties, both countries honor his vision, creating a sustainable model for peace, resilience, and cooperation across borders. I'd like to draw all of your attention here on the 4 lessons learned that we can take from the friendship delve into the invaluable lessons learned from the historic partnership between Timor-Leste and South Korea under President Kim Dae-jung, particularly in the context of his Centennial policy. This collaboration highlighted the art of diplomacy, where both nations demonstrate the power of diplomatic engagement and international cooperation as a means to resolve conflict, foster peace, and address complex global challenges. The Centennial policy, which promoted peaceful engagement with North Korea, resonates with Timor-Leste's own peace-building efforts and underscores the shared belief that sustained dialogue can build bridges where division once stood. The unwavering commitment to human rights and the promotion of democratic values also form a core element of this partnership with both Timor-Leste and Kim Dae-jung, exemplify a steadfast dedication to these principles. This commitment not only defines their individual path, but also strengthens the foundation of their alliance, offering a clear message to the world about the importance of human rights as a basis for peace and stability. The international solidarity played a crucial role with Kim Dae-jung's support, serving as a powerful reminder of how backing from the like-minded allies can empower smaller nations in their quest for peace and independence. For Timor-Leste, the solidarity from South Korea represented a tangible encouragement in a time of need, reinforcing the role of global partnership in helping achieve national aspiration and secure democratic futures. I'd like to emphasize and reiterate that Kim Dae-jung's peace philosophy, grounded in dialogue and reconciliation, align seamlessly with Timor-Leste's journey to independence. His unsigned policy, built on the idea of engaging peacefully with adversary, mirrors the approach that Timor-Leste leaders adopted in seeking reconciliation with Indonesia post-conflict. This shared philosophy serves as a lasting example of how patient, sustained dialogue and reconciliation can open doors to peaceful resolution and mutual understanding, leaving a legacy of peace and resilience that continues to influence both nations today. By learning from its past and focusing on sustainable development, Timor-Leste is laying the groundwork for a peaceful and a prosperous future. Timor-Leste's success in building and sustaining peace is no accident. It has been the result of intentional, systemic effort focused on improving the country's pillars of positive peace. Our journey mirrors that of South Korea, where Kim Dae-jung's vision for peace laid the foundation for a brighter future. As we move forward, our two nations, linked by sharing histories of struggle and triumph, continue to draw strength from leaders like President Kim, whose legacy of peace reminds us that a better world is possible. Kamsahamnida. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Ambassador Benavides, for your powerful and detailed recollection and also explanation about the historic bond formed between President Kim Dae-jung and Timor-Leste. And I was very much touched by, bandage, which is, continually being strengthened between the two countries at various levels again, at the top leaders level and the middle level and the people's level and all the levels we can think of. One thing I was impressed in your presentation was, besides all important items you talked about, was regarding the Kim Dae-jung's philosophy, peace philosophy, and the philosophy deeply rooted in dialogue and reconciliation was closely aligned with East Timorians' path to independence and also their efforts to seeking reconciliation and peacemaking with Indonesia as well. So, would you like to give us some more thoughts about that?
Thank you, Mr. Moderator. I guess some of you, or most of you, might familiar with our relation with Indonesia, in 1975. Actually, under Portuguese, as I said, for 150 years, and under Indonesia occupation, 24 years. We Timorese, we don't have any problem with the people of Indonesia. We don't accept the regime of Indonesian government. In that case, actually, what I'm trying to say here is more with the military actions that took place in 1975 to 1999. After Portuguese left in 1974, and in 1975, we declared our independence. But only a few days later, Indonesia came to Timor and declared that Timor-Leste is part of Indonesia. And who actually work closely with Indonesia? Some are from our brothers from Timor-Leste, Timorese people. And now most of them are now in the west of Indonesia. So we have west of Timor. So we have west and then we have East Timor. And because we are brothers, Timorese, we are Timorese, some already left Timor-Leste, live in Indonesia in the west of Timor. We say that we are brothers, we continue, we are brothers, we are Timorese. You choose to live with Indonesia in West Timor, we want independence, we live here in Timor, in East Timor, but we still brothers. You are most welcome to come to Timor, and we believe that, and we are doing now that we also visit them in the West Timor. In the beginning, not easy after 99 because of killings. We call it militias that supported by Indonesian military support the militias to kill us. So we kill each other in that time, in 1999. So after they left Timor, they live in Indonesia, and we, our government, work closely with the Indonesian government to facilitate our discussion between Timorese from the west and east. We sit together and we decide, we are Timorese, let's work together. You can live in Indonesia, in the west of Timor, we are here, but we are brothers. Let's work together. Then we try to forgive. In the beginning, it's not easy, takes time, but at the end, we hug each other and we say that we are brothers. Forgive them, forgive the Indonesian government, and then now we build a very good relation with Indonesia and also with our brothers that live in the West Timor, in Indonesia. Thank you, Professor.
Okay, thank you, sir. Here, before I open the floor to the audience, I'd like to share with you some information on the so-called 1999 security crisis you mentioned in your presentation, and also your explanation just before. President Kim Dae-jung participated in APEC summit, which was held in Auckland, New Zealand in September 1999. APEC is the acronym of Asia Pacific Economic Cooperation. So APEC summit is supposed to deal with economic affairs only. That has been tradition. The countries involved in APEC meeting try not to get involved in political and military affairs so that they could promote economic cooperation more easily. And so, but President Kim Dae-jung, watching what's happening in East Timor at that time, Indonesia supported militia, just massacring people. Maximum 1/3 of the whole population. President Kim Dae-jung thought this is an issue which cannot be ignored by the leaders at the APEC summit. So he talked to Jiang Zemin of China and Obuchi of Japan and Bill Clinton of the United States and others. And they at first responded quite in a mediocre way, but President Kim Dae-jung was very consistent in persuading them, and finally they agreed. And one of the ministers of Indonesia were there at the APEC summit and just learning about the atmosphere in which the leaders of this meeting, tried to put pressure on Indonesian government to stop the massacre in East Timor. And so he called the Indonesian president, and just that night, that evening, Indonesian government decided to stop, the militia. They supported militia, killing people anymore. And that was a critical moment. The reason I am telling you this in detail is because some of you may understand Kim Dae-jung's peace policy as something applied to the Korean Peninsula only, but that's not the case at all. His effort to promote human rights, peace, and democracy in East Timor at that time, and also in Myanmar, supporting Aung San Suu Kyi. And so that was one of the reasons why he was respected as a world leader. So that's something I wanted to share with you. And now I'd like to open the floor. So if you have any questions regarding this subject he presented, and also anything about Timor-Leste's relationship with Korea, and also I personally am interested in the current relationship between Timor-Leste and Indonesia. And so please raise your hand. Anybody who are interested in all these subjects and others related to Timor-Leste. The ambassador must have given you a perfect presentation, so there is no questions at all. But let me ask you this question. When did you personally get to know President Kim Dae-jung?
Yeah, as I mentioned earlier, I start from 2000, because when our President Ramos Horta is one of the recipients of Nobel Peace Prize in 1996. And then in 2000, Kim Dae-jung is one of the Nobel Peace Prize laureate, because in Timor-Leste, we always follow the news, who is the famous leader in the world. And I try to, he's from Korea, South Korea. He's from South Korea. Then I try to read, personally of his biography, and I discussed this with my current president, President Ramos Horta. I said, what are the criteria people to be the Nobel Peace Prize laureate? And he said, you have to fight for the peace, democracy, you have to brave, you have to talk about, and you have to have the vision to convince people that what you think, the peace, reconciliation, is human rights, is something that you have to fight for. And Kim Dae-jung is the man. And as I quote from his paper, he said that he was one of the key nominator, the key person that nominated Kim Dae-jung for the Nobel Peace Prize. So personally, and now I'm in Korea. Before I came here, I tried to understand all the situation that happened here. And I was luckily when I arrived here on the 8th of October last month, and then it's already on my table, the invitation to join this very special event here. So I said to my secretary, I said, let me finish my thing with the MOFA, and then I'm more than happy to join this event. So thank you for the invitation.
Thank you, sir, for participating in this historic event.
Ambassador.
Ambassador mentioned two names actually who are historically famous in Timorians and Timorian Leste independence movement. Jose Ramos Horta and also Sasana Guzman. When there was a presidential election, Sasana Guzman was elected the first president of newly born country, Timor-Leste, and Ramos Horta, who was also very closely cooperated with President Kim Dae-jung in his effort to achieve independence over there, is now sitting president of Timor-Leste. So the first president and the current president are two most important figures who very closely cooperated and worked with the President Kim Dae-jung. So all those are historic figures you can find later in the history textbooks in terms of the relationships between the two countries. Professor Oliver Richmond, please.
Thank you. Thank you, Ambassador, for a very interesting talk. I have a question for you very specifically about what we can learn from the last 20 or so years of peace building and development in Timor-Leste. I mean, you mentioned conflict sensitivity, you mentioned local ownership, and I'm just wondering if you have any further thoughts about the innovations that we can bring to the international community from the Timor-Leste experience, building on the contributions here of Kim Dae-jung, and how then could we modify peace building and state building, which you mentioned, as better forms of practice?
Professor, at the end, what we are trying to do, why you want to achieve peace? Because you want the development, economic development. So at the moment in Timor-Leste, we are open. Our door is open for all the nations. We have no block. So all our friends, all our brothers and sisters, to keep that internally, we have to have peace internally. And because our relation with Indonesia before was not so good, so we try to reconcile that. We try to forgive. And the support of Indonesia continue needed as our neighbor country. And also we open our door for all the countries, include Europe. And Europe also support a lot of Timor-Leste through financial aid, provide support in the human resource, expertise. So, as I said, Timor-Leste continue opening our door. And as one of the small nations, we continue need support, especially in the human resource and education. So what we are focused on, and again, this also we working closely with South Korea, with the universities, to get more scholarship, so that our people, our young people, they can continue study. We understand the past, we remember the past, but we have to move on. So now our focus will be on education. So we work, we make sure our young people well educated. So we open door for discussion, for support, and also asking for support for the scholarship from developing countries to support and to educate our young people, so we can follow, we can live in the modern, really modern society. I hope I answer your question, sir. Thank you, Professor.
Maybe the time is up, as a matter of fact, and thank you again, sir. Please give Ambassador Benavides a big applause of thanks, please.
네,
By this,
고맙습니다.
the session has adjourned.
네, 백학순 원장님과 안토니오
Ladies and gentlemen, another big round of applause to the speaker and the moderator.